Hey, Tom.
What's up, man?
Hey, Keegan.
Hey, Jordan.
How's it going, guys?
It's good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
So today we're doing something a little bit different than we usually do. We're actually going to be revisiting a game. A while back we played through Bloodborne, and...
It was like April was the save, I believe, that we had on
It was
here.
when it first
Yeah,
came out,
April was
pretty
like,
much.
the first like week or two that it came
years
out. Yeah, I know, it's been forever.
Crazy.
By John Len.
Played as John Len. Today we're going to be visiting the DLC, The Old Hunters. We're revisiting it because there's actually a good amount of content in there, about 10 to 12 hours, 10 new weapons, armor sets, locations. So it's something that I felt was substantial enough that we could actually revisit. And
let's be honest, you just want to play this game again.
I really do just want to play this game again. But there are enough changes to like
Yes.
gameplay and like updates and stuff like that that it's worthwhile.
It's a 9 gigabyte download.
Yeah,
it's actually downloading behind the camera right now.
Yep. So today we're gonna dig into that a little bit, and you guys can kind of see some of the cool new shit that they have to offer. So
Looking forward.
Make that big boss less special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level. Second level gaming. Second level.
all right, guys. So Bloodborne, The
Hello.
Old Hunters,
You mean Moose Hunter? Deer Hunter?
Elk Hunter.
Elk Hunter? Careful how you say that.
Man, antlers make everything look so much cooler. I saw this armor in some gameplay, and I figured out how to get it. And if you guys remember, do you remember the Cleric Beast, the one boss that we fought in the last playthrough?
Yes.
This is actually the skin of a Cleric Beast.
There's more than one?
You'll actually see something with that today.
Yeah.
So,
Spoilers!
we're digging into the Old Hunters, which is the new DLC for Bloodborne. Adds all these new areas. And several new weapons, which we'll dig into. I'm kind of just going to start off with the very beginning one, with the Hunter's Nightmare, and we'll kind of just start off, because the thing that most people might be kind of disappointed with is that the DLC starts off with a kind of reskin of an area that you play in the main game. But there's all this like nightmare poop all over the place.
Nightmare poop?
That's just like the best way to describe it, is you see this normal place and you're like, oh shit, well, I remember this place from the vanilla game. And then you walk outside and you're like, oh wait, this is a little bit different. So
How much is this DLC?
this DLC is $20, which
What's your take on the price?
I think it's completely fair. At this
Okay.
point, I think I've put 14 hours into the DLC.
Oh, that's good.
And there's 5 bosses, there's 10 additional weapons.
You die a lot.
You die a lot.
Jordan sent us a text message when this came out, and he's like, yeah, I just died for the 60th time.
Yeah, the first bit of the DLC boss is I died 60 times.
What the hell is happening?
So the biggest thing is you can fight a lot of these hunters in the actual plain vanilla game. These guys are pretty much shit.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
No,
Oh! Way to show off the DLC, Jordan.
no.
And you're cool.
We broke the game. Okay.
All right, oh fuck.
Oh, God.
Oh fuck.
Ugh.
Rad. Well, that's the first time that's ever happened to me in this DLC, so that's not a good indicator for the start, but it's actually a very well put together DLC. I mean, it's the same consistency as the game.
It's kind of like how I feel like with Battlefront DLC, where like the $50, you get $50 worth of content. Whether you agree with
Dude, this guy's owning it.
paying that much for it is a different story, but the content meets the price.
Yeah.
Versus like, was it Rainbow Siege 6 or something where you get like
I'm
skins
not
and
doing
stuff?
good right now.
It's performance anxiety. We've gone over this.
Yeah, these hunters too, like fighting humans in this series has always been unpleasant because they're all just really fucking hard. Alright, well,
There we go.
I
You're dead.
Damn.
I still took it out. Alright, cool.
Did you just breathe
we
fire?
no, I just used my shotgun.
Oh, I think you breathed fire for a second. I was like,
So
that's cool.
So you get a lot of these guys, you see a lot of these hunters.
Is the area new, or is it just new things within the world?
The area is actually new, so
Okay.
this is kind of a new area within the world, it's a reskinned location, pretty much.
Because I love one of the things I remember. I mean, this again. We recorded in April. It is now December. What I remember from the original playthrough of this was how gorgeous the thing looked. Like, this is one of the first open world games I saw where like we walked out and I said, "Can you go there?" And you go, "Of course you can." and it looks
Yeah,
gorgeous the
straight
whole
fucked
time.
right
So.
here.
Aw.
Alright, so we're gonna go a different route because I just got straight fucked there. But yeah, this DLC is a good bit harder. So they recommend that you be level 65 to start this DLC off.
What level are you?
112.
Wow.
Is there a cap level cap that you've seen?
So there's, I want to say it's like 250, but the thing is your stats start to max out or cap out. They cap out at 25 for the first time, then they start to like go back up again, and they cap back out at 50 again. So I'll kind of show you my stats in a second. Load times are exponentially better now.
I was gonna say load times was the complaint we had initially.
Yeah, so right now my vitality's 43, my strength and skill are 30, 35. So like it'll cap out at 50, so pretty much your levels kind of, it doesn't really matter once you get to that,
Gotcha.
that 50. So we're going to go this different route. Just like the main game, shortcuts all over the place. Originally there was a gate up here that I had to go through the entire beginning area to open
Oh,
up.
there's a dude.
Yeah, for some reason this one's I always fight him a little bit easier.
Don't say that. Like, as somebody looking, I'm not watching you, I'm like looking at the background, like how clear and crisp like that archway is behind him is
Yeah.
incredible.
I am not doing...
You're not.
You die already?
Yeah, I died already.
Man.
I normally can get past this guy pretty easy, but I don't know, there's some
Performance anxiety.
And I'm trying to talk while I'm playing it. It's a hard game to actually like sit here and...
Yeah, people don't realize how hard it is to play a video game because there's like two different parts of your brain going on.
Yep.
That's why a lot of times, that's why me and Tom initially, I don't know if you know this, but we initially tried to do like solo videos and we realized how bad
It's a
we are
bad
at them.
idea.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea to have. Well,
Mostly because I'm far too like down tempo and Keegan's far too hyper, so my videos were just me like, huh, that's
look at this.
interesting.
And I'm like, let's go jump off the cliff.
I really
And
like that a
Keegan's
lot,
just like,
too.
cowabunga!
Oh, that is so cool.
Yep. So what's cool about this DLC is that there's actually a level in the main game that has like these ship masts that you can see kind of in the backgrounds, and there's the actual DLC in this game ends in this port town where you actually are seeing those ships. So this DLC and the whole entire like progression of it was actually planned out when they made the original game, and they actually implemented that into the locations.
That's pretty cool.
That's smart.
So, like, some people were like, oh, does that mean it was on the disc then? No, it just means that these guys actually understand how to build a world.
Well, I think
Yeah.
because you can plan something out and not have it done. I mean, there's a difference. Like most people, whenever you create something, even if it's a game or a story or whatever, maybe you always have an outline and you have an idea of what's going on there, but you may not know how you get there. And obviously, building a game takes years.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered, like, when you do a DLC, how long does it take to build that DLC? Because they obviously have the assets already, which isn't. It's not as.
Well, I think it
as
depends
time-consuming then.
per DLC, doesn't it? I mean, sometimes you can just tell they literally threw a few skins on there, and other times, like this.
Oh my God, what is that thing?
Oh god.
Oh god.
They actually went to town a little bit on it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this was out in April. We're now in December. That's only a few months, but obviously they don't have to make models and all that because it's mostly there.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, all this stuff is reused, but once we get to some of the other stuff later.
yeah, I mean they obviously have to make original content, but it's just
Yeah, I think
I don't know anything about video game production, but
Yep.
it fascinates me how it can take 3 years to build a game, but you can have DLC out. Oh my
Like
god!
that fuck right there, he's new.
Oh, he's big.
Yep,
he's a big one.
he's kind of an asshole. So
I wouldn't mess with him.
yeah, we're gonna go this way.
We're gonna go to the dark cave.
Well, this is actually the route to get us to some of the newer areas. in
And
the
this was
DLC.
also something that surprised me about these games, because I had played Dark Souls, and I recall hating it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people had a similar experience to me, where they tried, and they failed. And
that
they were
was how
trying
I
to play it
started
like
this
a
series.
regular game. And you
That's how you
can't.
started this recording session.
You have to bear in mind that from the beginning, all the hard areas are open to you.
Yep.
So you can't treat it like a normal game where you're like, oh, if I go this way, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, you may get fucked really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give you. Unlike if you do we're all playing Fallout. If
Yeah.
you get fucked in Fallout, you just go back to your last save. You don't lose anything. This you lose.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Death is a big problem.
It's a big
in this
consequence. Which I was talking to Jordan before. I thought about picking this game up, but I don't think I would just because it would frustrate me.
Yep.
game.
'Cause
Yeah,
I don't
that's
like the
kind of
whole
where
line
I'm at
thing,
with it.
but-
Like, it's beautiful. It looks like a lot of fun, but I know personally this game
Yes,
will drive me insane.
it's not a game for me, but I understand why Jordan loves it.
Yep.
It's a gorgeous game. Gameplay looks incredible.
You know what I kind of equate it to is, you know how they say that when you run, and you'll understand this, Jordan, they say when you run, you at some point get a runner's high.
Yep.
I feel like it's a similar principle with the Dark Souls games. It's like, you kind of don't want to do it because you know it's going to suck.
Yep.
But once you reach that certain point where it starts to click and it starts to make sense, then suddenly it goes into its own and it becomes something else entirely.
And that's why I spent I say that I fought that first boss 60 times. And when I say it to people, they're like, I don't know how you can actually fight the same boss 60 times. Like, I would have given up after the 10th time. And it's like the sense of accomplishment that I finally got with beating that boss was second to none. I fucking hate this area. So it's all white. And
spiders.
Then, I don't know if you guys remember at the very end of the last quick look that we did. I was in like that snowy area with the boss, and then these like tick guys were there, and they're literally Hitler. I hate those things so much. So I'm just gonna not fuck around
run
with
away.
them because I don't really give a shit about them right now. We're gonna stick around with this guy. So the weapon that I'm using right now is a new, one of the new weapons in the DLC. It's a dexterity weapon. It's more of a speed weapon than anything else is. Because my character is a...
That guy just fell off the edge. You see that?
Is a dexterity build. I also do a little bit of strength. So it's a kind of a katana, and then on the low end of it, it's got a small short sword. So when I do its transformation, he tears it apart, and he's got 2 swords. Then I can then do like this like rad little
you did the link
spin move with it. There's no charge attack with it, which is fine. But like, it's still, you got 2 swords and you're a straight hat.
Oh god.
Nope.
All that nope. God, there's so many of them.
Yep. I told you I don't like this area at all. We're gonna just past this guy. Just because I don't really care about fighting him. And then the other weapon I have equipped right now is a new weapon too, and it's actually a bow blade. So it starts off as this kind of like curved longsword, which kind of has a slower arch to it.
I'm assuming it does more damage or more powerful hit.
It can, yeah. But then the other neat thing about it is once I kill this dog, when you transform it, boom, transforms into a bow.
Oh. Cool. So a range weapon?
Yep, so it goes from that single sword to the bow, and I think the animation's really... That's one of the things I love about this game, is that there's so much intricacy with just the animations.
So the bow, is it a powerful bow, or...?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
It's a bird.
So I can just long range, just like aggro these guys, and like also I want to point out, look at the background, how there are all these dead bodies.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
On the ground,
and they're actually moving.
That's a level of detail that you don't really see.
I was gonna say the other thing, how this I think we talked about it when it first was released. This is to you was the first next gen game that was a system seller.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's something you said, and looking back on it now. Because now we obviously have, I think the pinnacle is Metal Gear Solid 5 is gorgeous looking. We have The Witcher. We have Battlefront. I mean, games are gorgeous, but this game came out months before that, and it still is...
It was really utilizing the best of the system from the very beginning.
And what I think's going to suck, though, for like Game of the Year nominations is people forget about the games from earlier on in the year. We got all this hype from this fall.
I think the best thing, though, and that's an interesting point you make, because this is my personal game of the year. It has been since it came out. Nothing is, really spoke to me as much as this did. I think that the timing of their DLC puts it at a point where it's like, okay, now I remember
put it back in reconsideration.
That this is back into consideration
That's a good marketing move.
Yeah. So this is kind of when the DLC starts to be brand new area, which I
look at how gorgeous that is.
And then you got all this blood. Just gonna jump back
and
off.
just blood, not enough blood.
And then you got the 2, you got the tentacle fuckboys here.
Jesus, he's big. Look at that hammer. Oh, is that a hammer? That's a gun. It's not a hammer. Nope, it's a hammer. Wait, is it a gun hammer? What is that?
it's just a giant.
I don't know what that thing is.
Keegan is having a mental collapse over it.
Shooting something, and then he swings it, and then it's...
Is it a hammer?
Is it a gun? It's a gammer.
So if anyone is actually interested in this DLC and wants to know a strategy with every single enemy in it, you straight fucking hug every single enemy in this game. You hug them like it's your mom, and she just made you a delicious Thanksgiving feast.
Ooh, very Lovecraftian.
Yeah, no, this DLC, Tom, and I can't wait to show you the very end area that I'm going to end with, is straight up Innsmouth, which I remember how to say from when we did Call of Cthulhu last time.
Which is up, hopefully, should be up by now.
It's probably going to be, it's going to be up this week.
Well, last week. This week. We don't know when this is going up.
Yeah.
It'll be up.
I'm not
It'll
sure.
be up before then.
It'll be
sometime
up,
soon, yeah.
I think is the key phrase.
Yes, it'll be up on our channel. You can find it somewhere.
But yeah, I mean, you get a lot of these fish people who have gone crazy, and you get a lot of these.
Just like you were saying, the attention to detail to some of the just the scenery. I would love just to walk around in this world.
Why?
And I do that a lot.
Why would you want to be in this area?
Me?
Yeah,
Just
you're scared of everything.
Just to see how So I'm a fan of pretty things. So
Yeah.
I do that all the time in Star Wars, where I'll just walk around and just look.
Look at that guy. He's part of the environment. And he's
Yeah,
just like.
and
Are you telling me this would not terrify you to the core of your being to walk around this world?
I mean, yes and no. It depends. If snakes show up, yes.
Yeah.
But
You know what I was thinking about though? So this is where the first boss was. This is literally
like a church.
just a dead heap of human beings and blood all over the place. I never thought about this in a video game before, but can you imagine how terrible this must fucking smell? Just to have blood splashing on the floor. Who knows how long that's been standing there. There was this dude who was crazy, living here for years. There's probably shit in there.
So after VR, we're gonna have the smell-o-vision. We're gonna have the fifth sense coming in.
I wouldn't want to though. Like I think that this game was super cool, and I was sitting there like, man, this area would smell like just straight fucking butthole all the time.
It would be kind of cool though, just to experience it. I mean, it would suck, but at the same time, like you would definitely be very immersed.
Have they announced a sequel to this game, or is this just gonna be a one-off?
No. So actually, the developer of it, who's actually the president from Software, I'm not even going to try to say his name because it's a really difficult Japanese name, and I don't want to do him any disservice to his name. Yeah, he actually said that the Dark Souls 3 is going to be the last game in the Souls style because he wants to look at still innovating.
That's how do you feel about that?
I'm kind of upset at it a little bit.
Hopefully, Dark Souls 3 will be good.
Yeah. I'm not worried about that at all. Yeah, like I'm bummed, but at the same token, like they never said that they're gonna get rid of the same mindset of like having these challenging and rewarding games. So like, they are the same company who made the Armored Core franchise. They made the Tenchu franchise, which is ninjas.
I love Tenchu.
Yeah, if they could take a lot of the things that they learned from the Dark Souls series and the Bloodborns and everything, and take that into a new franchise, I'd be completely 100% down with it.
And I think a lot of it is down to the fact that when they made these games, that's awesome. They made it to change the status quo of gaming at the time, and I think they succeeded with that. So if they can take that innovation and put it to a new genre, then potentially.
And I think we've talked about this before, but having
I got a Gatling gun too.
Nice. We talked about this a little bit before in another video. I can't remember which one it was, but how I feel like it's harder to do new IPs nowadays, and there's very few developers that I think are going to try and do new IPs.
Yeah, you gotta be brave.
That have one that's already strong.
Yep.
You remember so many of them go sour though. You remember Watch Dogs? I mean, everyone was on the hook for that game,
I
then it just went so bad.
Yeah, it was not what I thought it was going to be.
No.
But then,
it wasn't what anyone thought it was going to be.
But then, like, I guess Shovel Knight is an indie game, but like, I
think indie developers are the only ones that are like not really afraid to do that type of thing. But these like AAA developers, like From Software.
Well, we're getting that Horizon game, which I think looks really cool. But the problem I have with that is it looks like every other giant open world game, and I think we're right now in that most games are open world games.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but every game is like this. You've got Fallout, Witcher, just to name a couple of them that gives you endless world to walk into, which is. Cool
I got Witcher for $25 on that Black Friday sale, and I'm super excited to play it.
It's such a great game. With that and Fallout and everything like that that's come out this year, like so many RPGs
I had no time to play games.
Lots of great RPGs.
Well,
I'm really looking forward to the next Mass Effect too.
Yep.
That's a universe I enjoy very much.
So this is a new area as well, and this when I first got to this place,
murdering the dude in the wheelchair.
Yeah, they have guns. So it's completely fine.
It's fine.
This is kind of based off of a lore perspective.
He looks like
a research center from the experiments that the Church of this universe did. So like, I'll show you guys kind of like some of the rooms that have some of the patients, but like this place is absolutely terrifying in a lot of ways to me. And I just had this unsettling, and this is just a really cool design, all these spiraling staircases, and
reminds me of like Harry Potter.
Yeah, you have to go all the way up to the very top, flip a switch, and it spins the whole entire room around, which allows you to get to the boss level. And Keegan, you mentioned like before in the previous quick look that we did, how there's no load times with going in between anything.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone through 3 areas, and we haven't had a single load time.
Yep. And we'll see. We'll have Just Cause up here at some point, but Just Cause, I played through the tutorial, and it loaded.
shit.
Oh, God.
No,
Oh, God.
fuck.
It loaded, I think, for the first half an hour, I had 10 minutes of load screen.
There was home way back there. Those ragdoll physics. So I'll go back into. That place is called the Research Center. And actually, this is a good time because I'll have to go back to the kind of like hub world. I'll show you guys some of the new weapons while we're in there, if that's cool with you guys.
No, I don't want to see anything new. I want to see just everything we've already done.
That's all right. That's
a weird way to look at a DLC video.
Yeah,
that's to revisit.
That's what
something.
everybody wants, is they just want to see what we've already done.
I mean, that makes sense.
It'll be interesting to compare this to our first Bloodborne. Well, partially, hopefully this will be recorded in 1080p versus the first one. We screwed up the settings when we recorded the gameplay footage.
But just screw up a lot of settings on a lot of things. It's pretty much par for the course at this point.
Yeah, either we lose footage or we screw up settings on something.
Yeah.
And it's
But
just
we've been, ever since we went to this quick look, we talked about this before we started recording, ever since we went to this quick look format, I feel like 2 things have happened. One, we have a lot more fun, I think, in my opinion, and the content's a lot better, and you guys seem to like it a lot more. So,
yeah.
Jordan's going to talk about weapons.
Yeah, so we're going to do 2 of the bigger ones. The first one's called the Boom Hammer, which I think is a great name. So you got this hammer that just fucking demolishes.
Where's the boom?
So when it transforms, you light, and so what I actually think that he does, I think he lights it on the flint of his gun. Like, if you look at the animation, I think he actually lights this hammer with the flint of his gun, which is a really cool thing.
Can you put the camera behind you when you do that? Like, over your shoulder? So you can see?
It moves kind of too fast in the explosion, but I think you're right.
But, like, if you look, yeah.
Maybe
so,
we could slow that down and post.
What this does is you then, boom, and that the fire effect, too, I think is really great looking with it. So pretty much there's no transformation for this weapon, just before there's no boom. When you do the other one, it booms. But it's a really strong weapon, really cool. This guy is called the Whirligig Saw, which I think is a really great name. So it's this staff before when you transform. The fuck? It's got a buzzsaw that you can put into the ground and just like it's just constantly going, and you can just straight murder everything with it. Which who the fuck was like? Let's just put a buzzsaw on the end of a...
Is that hitting you in the antlers when you bring it back, or is it just?
No, it's just buzzsaws. All the metal is hitting there.
Okay.
Essentially a death lollipop.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You got this guy, and then we'll do the amygdalin arm. So this is
What's that one thing you don't have?
That's I can't use that because of my stats.
Oh, okay.
Because I need a certain amount of magic
Gotcha.
or strength for it. So amygdalin arm is actually, so it starts off with as this mace. It's actually an arm of one of the big spidery things that you'll see in the game. When I transform it, its arm actually comes out.
Nice.
And does like this cool
like
like
whip
thing to it. And it actually like kind of moves itself, so like it actually is still alive.
I'm trying to think what it reminds me of, but I can't think. Like, it reminds me of something, but I can't think of what it is.
This is called Bloodletter. It's a really cool looking mace, and when you transform it, you stab it into yourself, tear it out, and it becomes this gigantic fucking...
You did actually lose health, though.
Yep. And you can go back down, so yeah, you stab yourself, and then boom.
How long does that effect last?
Until you transform it again.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's a really cool one. There is a new... kind of like the same like little sword thing that I had originally. You guys saw the beast cutter. A lot of enemies were using that. So this guy is just kind of a sword, kind of a scythe thing. When you transform it, it goes into like a smaller, quicker, one-handed blade. Very similar if you guys remember the weapon that I used, like in my other stuff.
Where it did the pop out.
Yeah. This is called the Church Pike, which I really like a lot. It starts off as a spear, and then you transform it, and it turns into kind of a scythe thing, which is, I think, really, really neat looking. So yeah, all the weapons handle very differently. I've been using...
so for old time's sake, can we pull out the whip? Do you have that? Do you have the cane?
I don't have the cane. Oh yeah, I do.
For old time's sake, we gotta pull this out. If you guys if you saw our first playthrough, this is what we used when we were John Lennon, with the chain whip. Cane whip,
still
chain.
looks badass.
Oh, it still looks great. And I still love the animation when he transforms it back to how he just... Oh, what a gentleman. Rest in peace, John Lennon.
Yes, thanks for doing that, Jordan.
Yeah,
the
no
flashbacks.
problem. So I've been using the...
If you guys haven't watched our first quick look at this, technically at that point we were doing kind of like we didn't know what we were doing. It's like let's play for like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
It was a quick look, split up essentially.
Yeah. So I've been using this guy, which is that katana with like the short sword on the end of it, and then you can transform it into separate swords, and then you got the one
gun.
bow blade, and then it turns into the bow and arrow, which is cool because the blade just separates. Like if you watch the animation, it just goes back into one solid blade. I don't know, it's pretty cool.
I do love the sheer amount of weapons that are available in this
Yeah.
game, and all of them feel very unique.
So we're gonna go back to that research hall, and then I'm gonna show you guys.
And you're not going to fall off this time, right?
Yeah. I'll go the quick way around it. I won't worry about fighting too many enemies. And I will show you guys kind of just the last 2 areas of the DLC, and then I'll show you an optional boss, who is probably now the hardest boss that I fought in the DLC thus
So it's going to
far.
take you 100 times.
Probably. I don't anticipate to beat him, and I will preface that before I ever actually get to him. It's not going to be something that I do. I just kind of want to show you guys what.
Now if you beat him though on camera, it'd be awesome.
Oh god, I would literally just.
It's probably you probably have the same feelings when I beat Mario 3.
I would die and go
Like
to heaven.
I was so excited when that happened. I've never been.
Well, when I beat the first boss final after that 60 times, I just set down my controller and just threw my hands in the air, and I didn't actually say anything.
You're
I
just like, yes.
It's just like, that is. And it was on Thanksgiving, so my family, when we were going around the table, were like, "What are you thankful for?" And I was like, "I beat that motherfucker."
beat the boss, and they're all like, "What?"
They're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Do they know you have no life and you just played video games for a week?
Oh, I told my mom that, and she was like, "Well, I'm really happy for you." And I was like, "Are you, Mom?" All right, so we're gonna.
She might be. Knock him off the edge.
No, because I wanna parry him.
Wait, is he the guy that technically killed you?
Yep.
Is that why he has your? That's the soul's glowing?
He
in his
died
eyes?
too. To
Yep.
be fair,
Yeah.
it was a suicide pact.
There you go, push him off the edge. So I still should get my souls back.
There it goes.
Yeah. Or my echoes.
God, that's a lot.
Yep. I was gonna try.
Do you
to show
get more the deeper you go into the game?
Kind of. Those enemies at the very bottom that I killed, like the little things that were crawling around.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I've been farming a lot of my experience points because they give you about 7,000 each time.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a lot or not.
For an enemy, and that's one of the So the church did that to
Jesus.
people. Like they mutated these and did experiments on them. And I actually have. Yeah.
Nice. You
So
guys can be friends.
Yeah.
Well, they can be friends even without that.
So I like this a lot.
It's a big old.
It's like a
plant.
Whomping Willow.
Yeah.
Harry Potter reference.
This was a boss arena
See,
as well.
I don't know if this is peaceful or if this should be scary as fuck.
It's a peaceful area.
It's a mix. It's a mix of like, I feel like something's gonna sneak up and get you.
Look at that shit. Look at that skybox. Like, those clouds look so. They just look like a painting.
Mm.
How cool would it be to do like free fly camera in this?
If this game came out for PC, I guarantee you there would be. And then this is a cool looking arena as well. This is where my favorite boss fight was.
It's Dumbledore's observatory.
Oh, wizardary.
This is where Dumbledore died. Was that the boss? Was the boss Dumbledore?
No,
Oh,
it
Jesus.
was it was a storyline character. So here's the place that looks like Innsmouth. So you have all these sunken ships that are over there, which these are actually masts that you can see in the main game, which is really cool. And then you, like Tom, I think you're gonna love this place to death because there's these crazy folks who walk around and tentacles and.
Nice.
So this guy just kind of walks around, blood-crazed fiends.
How do you know if somebody's good or not? You just walk up to them, and if they attack you,
If they don't kill you, yeah. So this place is just, got just the art design for it. And I was very surprised by how unique this place looked compared to everywhere else in the game.
Yeah.
So then you got these
there's a thing in there.
these fishy dudes.
It's a fish.
Yep. So you got
Your
those.
definition of fish is a little different. Oh no, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, when you see it from the side.
And they got these spears, and they have like algae and like other gross like barnacles and stuff like that growing off of them, which I just think is a really neat aesthetic. Barnacles are gross as a whole, but it's still a cool looking.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of Lovecraft in this area.
Oh yeah, like more the main game had a lot with the tentacle spiders and everything like that, but this is straight up like if I ever thought about like
Oh
what
God.
yeah, these guys suck. If I ever thought about what Innsmouth possibly could look like, or like an actual representation of like one of the terrifying like towns in his mind. I feel like this is a very good representation of it. With just these fishy fucks walking around and.
How would you? So, was it From Software?
Yep.
That's the people who made this. I just want to hear what their meetings are like.
He's actually the
it'd be
head guy,
interesting.
the interviewer
It'd be interesting to hear like their perspective when they go in and be like, yeah, let's do a fish with barnacles on his back with a spear.
Well, I'm sure that they have a pretty hardcore creative team dedicated just for making the monsters.
I know, but I'm saying just like the concept of how they come up with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, Keegan, you were mentioning like how long it takes the DLC. Like, I mean, all these are completely new enemy types that weren't in the original game, and then you got that big fishy dude right there.
he doesn't look too friendly.
Who can actually eat you, and they hit
He
pretty
wants
hard.
to give you a hug. Give him a hug.
I mean,
He wants to give you a
I'll
hug.
give him a hug with my sword.
Get him now. Get him in the butt.
I'm glad I
So what
dodged
happens
that.
if he gets hold of you?
If he grabs a hold of me, if I don't have enough health, he will actually eat me and like consume. Like, and it's not just that he bites you a bunch of times. He does, but he actually like eats you. Like you slide down his mouth.
Like you're dead from the get-go. Insta-kill.
It's just, oh god. Camera's still a little wonky in this.
Yep, and that's I'm probably gonna. I might get eaten. Yep, that's cool. I get to show you.
Oh, that's so gross.
Damn.
Yeah, and
That's
he's-
so cool.
He's got the shark teeth and everything like that.
That's so gross.
And so that's kind of cool. But yeah, so that's the newest area in the actual DLC.
You meant to do that, right, Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually kind of wanted to die. Like, I don't really mind. I was talking to these two guys over, my state vacation that I had, and I texted them and I go, well, over the course of an hour, I've lost 1 million experience points.
I'm gonna see if I can find the exact, because you sent like 3 in a row, like, and I'm dead again.
Yep, I was
and I'm
like,
dead again.
Fuck.
Pretty much. God, we text a lot to each other.
Yeah. It's like we're dating,
I know.
but not.
Oh, no, this is a different one. All I know is, so this was from Sunday, so this was 2 days ago. Tom, you're going to love this Bloodborne DLC. I'm going to show you guys straight up Innsmouth recreated, gross fish port town, scary converted crazy people, tentacles.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a text from Jordan, word for word. I'm trying to find... Oh, it might take a minute, because this was Thursday, was that?
Yeah, I think so.
So you were pretty close to the end of the DLC there in that fishing hunt.
Technically, the last boss is in that area. I just don't
Gotcha.
want to show the last boss in this because...
Spoiler.
So, like, all the bosses in this game, or in the DLC, actually have story ties to characters that were mentioned in the main game.
That's kind of cool.
The first boss is actually someone who's very heavily tied to the story, and the boss that I'm going to show you guys now is also a character who's referenced 5 or 6 times, but he's also kind of one of the first hunters to ever have done anything. So it's really cool as like a fan of the lore and someone who's beaten the game to kind of see what happened to these characters, because I always wondered, I was like, well, I wonder what happened to so-and-so or so-and-so, and now I kind of get to see, oh, he didn't end up happy at all, like his life is straight fucked.
Here we go, I found it.
I feel like that's usually going to be the response for most characters in this universe.
So here is the thread. I'm gonna leave some of the stuff out that's not important, but basically here's the back and forth between us. Super glad I didn't do Bloodborne today. The first boss is the hardest boss I've ever faced in the game, bar none. And then I don't know, like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, 27 tries on this boss. 27. And then I go, told you you're just bad at video games, and then Tom goes, get good, and you go, man, I was on Reddit this morning, it took one guy 67 times, ha ha ha, I do an average of 300 per hit, I think this boss has 60k, or 60,000 HP. I think that's the end of that, and then you're just like, I give up.
Yeah, and then I said I give up, and then I fought him another 60 times, so it's just...
Yeah, you can say there's another part of that thread somewhere in here
Yep.
that I can't find, but...
So how do you get to the super optional boss?
Through this door.
The one with the big mean thing in it?
Yep, and I just run past him, because those two NPCs all actually fight each other. And so generally I just wait until they kind of dick around, and then eventually one of them dies. He's not gonna make this easy for me at all right now, but I will take a blood vial. And he's got his weird magic that he does. Alright, so So yeah, this boss, it actually will harken back to the boss that we fought in the main game because it looks exactly like that, except he's fucking on fire.
Nice.
So yeah, this guy is actually
Lawrence.
Yep, he is actually a major.
I remember him, kind of. Well, his cousin.
Yeah.
Same attack patterns?
No, not at all. Actually, I guess similar, but a lot harder.
You should use your arrow, man. Just stay the fuck away from him and shoot him with
That's
arrows.
actually what a lot of people have said. So let's
do that. He
It might take a while, but
yeah. Oh, you're against a wall. It's never a good place to be.
Not serious. Yeah, so this guy I fought probably a good 30 times so far, and so his first form isn't the absolute worst. His second form that he gets, he loses his legs and starts spewing lava everywhere.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun.
It's not pleasant at all.
Again, character design. How the hell do you come up with something like what? How do you just? How would you? If you sat into production, how would you describe this character to somebody if this was in your head?
Werewolf with antlers, on fire.
But even then, it's still like
Popeye and Sasquatch have a baby, and someone set it on fire.
See, look how much fucking damage that attack does.
oh god. We're just watching Jordan play. I was gonna say Fallout. This is Bloodborne. Play Bloodborne.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't anticipate actually beating this boss, but I kind of just wanted to show what people can expect from this DLC in terms of like difficulty.
Well, you've already died a bunch of times, so
Which was kind of performance anxiety, but yeah. So this is one of the bosses that I kind of wanted to show up. I knew I wasn't going to get to a second form or anything. I generally feel pretty good at this game sometimes until I started playing this DLC, and now I'm just like, God bless it. Like,
I'm okay, kind of.
I'm
That's what it
not
sounds
nearly
like.
as good as I thought that I was.
which is a sign of a good DLC.
Yeah, I mean, and I've put at least a good 15 hours into the DLC so far, maybe 20. And the fact that it's $20, like, I feel completely justified. And it's 4 new areas. There's tons of new weapons. Oh, actually, I need to show you 2 other weapons. I got this rifle, and then I got the Gatling gun, which I kind of showed, and then I got and this is something new with the DLC. There's actually a shield in the game, which they explicitly said that they didn't want to have shields, but they decided to add this one because it's a little bit, it's just kind of fun. But it's a shield that they got there. I got this rifle, which shoots like this weird, kind of like spiraled bullet.
Whoa.
So that's kind of cool. And then I got the church cannon, which is like that giant cannon that one guy had. So I can just kind of...
Do you find yourself switching weapons at all, or do you tend to stick with the same...
Until the DLC, I was still using that same weapon that I had in the main game. I still use the same gun just because guns are... I mean, they're just a way for me to parry enemies. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter. I have the Gatling gun just because it's a Gatling gun, so why not have...
Because why not? Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
just
assume you don't have ammo, because it's not that type of game.
Yeah, so like for every like 8 bullets you shoot, it utilizes 1 bullet in the game. So, I mean, so yeah, the DLC is a ton of fun. I think it's a great value as a whole. I can definitely, if you're not already a fan of the game, this DLC isn't necessarily going to change your mind because it's really just. Do you like Bloodborne? Do you like Bloodborne making you cry? Then that's kind of what you're gonna get.
The other thing too is you can actually buy this game. I think it's $40 for Bloodborne plus the DLC, right?
Which is it's a good amount of content because
it's $60 for a new game.
Yeah, I like too how these guys. I killed them all, but they'll actually cower away from you because they know that I'm such a badass.
All right. Well, I guess. Did you want to try one more crack at this guy? Or?
I mean, I can try one more crack, but I have 2 health vials, and I usually go through 2 per second with him. So we'll try again just for funsies.
You're
And
never gonna do it with that attitude. You gotta just go for broke. Remember my techniques for Fallout? That's what you need to apply here.
Cool guys never look at explosions.
That was not his technique.
No.
No.
Somebody commented on your technique, Tom. Said
Yeah?
he's a wanderer as well.
Yeah, it's the way to play it, man.
So, I'm now slowly becoming more of a wanderer in that game.
Man, if I could beat him with only one health vial, I would cry from joy.
I reckon you just pale him with the Gatling gun, see what happens.
Just waving at him. Okay.
Or just stay as far
Hey,
away
girl.
as possible and just shoot arrows at him.
You
Well, I
got
only,
another
have
blood
I
vial.
only have 3 ammo right now, so I
that's
can't really shoot too many. Because the actual bow uses the same ammo as your guns do, so
Yeah.
so we'll see.
What's with that smoke effect?
That's just the way that's always
hey,
been.
it's boss
Yeah.
time.
That's always been their way to kind of signify.
You're in boss battle.
What about
It's not the giant thing on fire in front of you that
blast hammer?
signifies it.
I think the weapon change-up might help, honestly. You need something that does major damage.
So blast hammer, I'd have to dedicate a lot of like resources to actually like build it up because this weapon I actually have maxed out completely.
Gotcha.
And so like in terms of like damage and everything like that.
Don't say that.
I don't believe in luck.
You
There's,
sound like Han Solo.
there's no such thing as luck in Bloodborne. It's just you get good or you die a little bitch.
That should be their tagline. Bloodborne, get good or die a little
You could
bitch.
do what Tom did earlier when I got here. He somebody in follow got stuck and he just
No.
kept shooting him.
Yeah, I take advantage of loopholes very often. I was fighting a guy in Fallout earlier, and I just couldn't beat the fucker. He was too high a level. He had power armor on. It sucked. So I just crept up on him far enough that I could see him through a very distinct gap in between shells with a sniper rifle, and he didn't move because his character was unaware that I was there.
Sure.
So I just popped him down with about 30 sniper bullets and took him out.
They were cracked maybe.
And I didn't
a
feel
foot
bad
wide.
about it. So yeah, if you can, I mean, I've had to do that in Elder Scrolls as well.
It's just cheese them.
Cheese
Yeah.
them, man. If it's
I don't know where
unfair,
you could,
cheese
I don't know where you
'em.
could cheese them on here because this is a pretty open area.
Yeah, there's not a lot of whole places to hide behind here. You need like multi-leveled environments usually. To cheese
Generally,
them.
with the like these monster enemy types, like
Oh,
they
Jesus.
usually don't get stuck on the environment as much. If you can face like a hunter or like a human NPC or whatever, you can kind of cheese them that way because they'll get stuck on the same things that you as a player character would as well.
Right. The bosses are too well designed.
Which is a good
Plus,
thing.
they all seem to
I mean,
have these open arenas.
You don't want it to be buggy.
Fuck.
I think
Damn.
I think you're done. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but you're out of blood vials and not that much.
Yeah, he hits hard.
Yeah.
It's like 2-hit death.
Yep. But yeah, so this is the DLC, kind of just to showcase a few of the weapons and some of the environments, and just that they still put a lot of the same dedication and time
What's
to
the name of it? The Hunters?
the
Pack?
old hunters.
Old Hunters.
Which is actually a reference to some of the bosses that you fight, like the guy we just mentioned there. I'm not going to say his name just because I don't want to say any spoilers or anything. You can see it, but whatever. Fuck it, Lawrence. Lawrence is actually one of the original hunters, and the first boss that you actually fight, the one that took me 60 tries, his name was Ludwig, and he was originally one of the first hunters as well. So a lot of those, the actual name references the bosses, and the fact that they're all these hunters who are out here. They're all the old hunters as well. So it's just a really neat bit of DLC.
It's a nod to itself.
Yeah, it expands on the story a lot, and there's so much care put into this game that I think that for the $20, it's an easily justifiable
It's
cost
definitely
for it. So
definitely providing a valuable software company with resources,
Yep.
which I think is good.
yeah, so I think it's great. So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate you guys allowing me to take the time to dick around with it.
No
Yeah.
problem.
What do you
enjoyed
guys? Are you guys playing the new? Are you playing Bloodborne? Are you playing the new DLC?
Yeah, let us know what you think.
What do you guys think about it?
Yeah, and if you ever want to cooperate with one another, let me know, and we can
Take down
maybe
that boss.
do some co-op. So
Take down
yeah.
Lawrence.
Cool guys. Well, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Don't know why I just said that.
Jordan, I feel like you've done this a few times. Let's go.
I have
Let's go. Let's do the proper outro.
the proper outro.
So you know how we say, you know what we do, right?
Say bye.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always,
Welcome to the second level.
bye, guys.
Hey guys, we're charming. You can take us home to your mom. We really like moms, so how about you share this video with your mom? Tell her to like and subscribe. Because Keegan's cute. Aren't you, Keegan?